So, all right, let's start. So, let me share the agenda for this session first. So, today we are going to discuss about the NumPy, and while in the discussion, I will cover the NumPy topic like how can we create NumPy array, how we can do the Boolean indexing, how we can reshape an array, what are the various functions available with the NumPy, and why NumPy is required, how is different from list and array, how the list and array both are different. So, first of all, I want to understand that all you guys know the difference between the list and array. So let's say I create one list, that is list one, and I'm adding one, two, and let's say I'll add. So this is one list, right? And then I create an array using the using the Python array function. So that is I have to import array, and then I will do. So do you guys know the difference between this? What is the difference between this list and this so just to confirm that, so in list we can have different types of elements. So you can see over here we have integer and then we have a string. But in array, what happens that we can only have one data type. So either that can be an integer or a string or float, but we cannot have both or all of them. So that is a main difference between the Python list and Python array. So if I see the type of, so if I do type of list one, so it will be list. But when I do type of array, so that will be an array. So let's say I added over here Chetan. So now what will happen? So as it is an array and we it as an integer, but what is happening? We have four values as an integer and one is string. So we'll get an exception over here that only integer is required and it got string. So that is the main difference between the list and array. Also in array, what happens that the memory allocation is done as continuous, while in list that is not sure. So let's moving into NumPy. Why do we require NumPy? So NumPy is an extension to the Python programming language. It adds support for large and multi-dimensional arrays and matrices. Along with there are multiple functions available using NumPy through which we can perform matrix operation as well as vector operation. So the first thing is to import the NumPy library. So here I have imported the NumPy library and now I'm going to create one NumPy array. So first I will use this particular, I will create one list. Let's say its name is data and I'm adding a list in this where I have values, five values. So now I want to create this list into into a NumPy array. So what I will do is I will use the array function of the NumPy library. So what I will do, I will use array underscore one is equal to np dot array and I will provide this data which I have created over here. So now I have created a NumPy array. So I will do type of array one. So as you can see, it is a NumPy array. ND means n dimensional. So as of now, it is single dimensional array. If I print the particular array one, so it is an array, and this has the values 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 5. So let's say that I want to create an array out of a range function. So all of you guys are probably familiar with the range function. So I create data 2 and I add range, and the first one will be from 1 to 5 and the another will be from range of let's say 5 to 9. So this is a data 2 object. If I print this data 2, so you can see it has two objects of range class, sorry, range. So there is one range object from 1 to 5 and there is one range object from 5 to 9. What will happen if I want to create a NumPy array out of this data 2 which contain a list of range values? So what I will do, I will do array 2 is equal to np dot array and then data 2. And now if I print array 2, so you can see now it has one list, one array containing 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one containing 5, 6, 7, 8. So you already know how I got these values. So this range function, so this is the start step and this is the stop step. So the 5 is exclusive. So from this one we are getting 1 to 4 and from here we are getting 5 to 8. So here we are getting the multi-dimensional array. All right. So everything is clear till now, right? Or do you have any question?
Uh, can you guys repeat because we joined late? A quick recap would be enough.
Okay, so I haven't discussed much since. So the first thing is I showed the difference between the list and array. All right, so in list we can have multiple data type, while in array we can only have a single data type. If I add a different data type, then I will get an exception. All right. After that, I showed that how we can create an array out of a list. So this is the one where I have created an array out of this list. Then I'm using range function, and then I have created a multi-dimensional array. So that's all I have discussed till now. So moving on, let's say I have
One question, sorry.
yeah.
What is exactly NumPy?
So NumPy is a extension to Python programming language, right? So
Okay.
by default, what happens that Python doesn't have much functionality when it comes to vector multiplication or vector functions or matrices. So if you want to perform multiple matrices, sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So if you want to perform some actions on arrays and matrices, for that type of operation, we use NumPy. So NumPy is a library that is built on Python. That is only for numerical purpose on matrices, vectors, and arrays. That's all.
So whoever is not familiar that what is a library is, so there are many programming languages, but the programming language itself don't contain all the features which we require in practical scenarios. For example, the extensive mathematical operations or complicated operations, or any other thing like file handling or let's say, for example, string conversions or stuff like that. So to have that functionality added to your programming language, various other coders develop some code for that purpose. So those are termed as libraries because you can directly use the functions out of them by including them. As you can see, we has imported NumPy. So that means all the functions which are available in NumPy are usable now in your own program.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yes, it is fine. Thank you.
All right. So one more thing that we are going to discuss before moving to the next topic is like if we have an n-dimensional array or a NumPy array, how we can get a list out of it. So if you want to convert a list into an NumPy array, so there is a function called nparray. Similarly, if you want to convert an array into a list, there is a function called toList. So let's say I want to convert this array2 into a particular list. So what I will do is then I will take the object of the array and I will call the toList method. So now this particular list2, if I do type of list2, so that will be a list, right? If I print, so now I got this value. So this is list and this is an array, right? So before moving on, so there are some scenarios in which we require like zeros array or let's say ones array or linear space. So I will go through all of these. So let's first start with the zero array.
Hey Chetan, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
So Chetan, in array underscore two, the output if you see, it is wrapped with array. So what is this array? So because it is not a doesn't look like it is a data type because the data type is ND array. So what is this wrapper? The result?
This thing you are trying to say, this
Yes,
array.
yeah, exactly.
So it is just mentioning that the object over here it is array.
So if you see the example in line number 9, so
Yes.
in line number 9, the type you said is of NumPy arrays is ND array. So here, had it been ND array, it would have
Yes,
make
yes,
sense.
it's already ND array. Let me show you. If I print the type of array2, it's same ND array.
So the only confusion it is it's wrapping over array. So what should
So
I think of it?
here you can see also, if I print the type of this variable, so that is of this type. It is coming from NumPy and it is an object of this type, ND array. Okay. So if I'm printing that thing, so it is mentioning over here that is it is an array object. That's all the difference you can make.
So Akash, for in every almost every object, which is in almost every library or like every class, so there's a function called REPS, so representation, REPR or something like that. So when we directly print something like that, print and then this in the brackets we give that object. So whatever is happens, so whatever the data is there, that is passed into that REPS function. That REPS function gets called, and then representation function is actually the one which tells how you want to show it to the screen or console. So for array, for that ND array type, the representation functions returns the values like that. So that's why you are seeing it like that. Whereas the type of is a global function in which when you pass the object, it returns its data type. What is the data type? You getting my point?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the clarification.
So you can see if I use the print function, then we are not getting that wrapper you were talking about, the array. But if I'm not using the print function, you will get that wrapper. So according to Harsh, what he said is correct, that it goes to the RPS. All right, so moving on to the zeros array. Let's say I want to create an array and I want it to be filled by zero. Let's say if you are doing some, you are writing some program in which you don't know what will the value will be during the execution of the program. But before starting the execution, you want to initialize it. So at that time, you can use this np.zeros function. So let's say I create array zeros is equal to np dot z, and you have to provide the dimension. So here I want a simple vector, a 1D array. So I'm using 5, and if I print that thing, so I will get a 0 values. So this is a 1D array. If you, if you want to create a multi-dimensional zero array, then what you have to do is to provide the dimension to this zeros. So let's say I want to create an array of size of row 2 and 4 column. So that you have to provide as a tuple. So you guys are aware with tuple, right? So this is the representation of tuple. So I'm providing the value of the dimension as tuple to this. And now if I print this value, so you can see it has 2 rows and it has 4 columns, right? So that way you can define a multi-dimensional array by providing size or dimension. Sorry, it will be dimension, not size, as a tuple. Similarly, there is also ones function. So if I do array 1 is equal to np dot ones and I provide 10 elements and then I print array ones, so we'll get 1 values. Similarly, there is one linear space. All right, this is the one which I will talk about it. So let's say linear space I'm creating and I'm using the function called np.linspace, and then I'm providing 1, start with 1 till 4, and I want 10 number of elements in between these two values. Like it will start from 1 and it will end at 4, and I want 10 values equally spaced. So if I do that and I print this thing, so you can see here we are getting a value that are equally spaced between 1 and 4. Let's say if you want to know the value by which it is getting equally spaced, so there is one parameter which you have to add, and that is called red step. So you have to set it to true. So now if I run this, so you can see this is the value, this is the array which you are getting, and the equally spaced equal difference between like 1 and 1.33, so that is 0.33. So over here also 0.33, then this. So this is the equally spaced value. So this is the functionality of linear space function. if we go forward, then we have the log space function. So let's say I will create one array with log space, and I do np dot. I want to start from 0 to 3, and I want 4. So what will the output? So by default, what happens, the base is 10. So it will start from 10 to the power 0, 10 to the power 1, 10 to the power 2, and 10 to the power 3. All right, and if I print this, so you can see 10 to the power 0, 10 to the power 1, 10 to the power 2, and 10 to the power 3. So that is the function of this log space function. So by default, the base is 10, and both are inclusive. Over here also, this 0 and 3 are inclusive, and over here also 1 and 4 are inclusive. But if you go to the range function, so what happens in range function, this last value, that is exclusive. So we'll get from 1 to 4 only, and 5 to 8 only. But in over here, these both value are exclusive. That means in the output you will get 1 also, you will get 4 also. Similarly over here also, when the calculation will be performed, it will use 10 to the power 0 also, as well as 10 to the power 3 also. So moving on, so just like you have the range function in Python, so NumPy also provides a range function through which we can get a simple list or a simple array. So let's say I want an integer array, and I use a range function np.arrange, and I want, let's say, 10. All right, so if I get 10 values, if I print, so you can see I'm getting an array starting from 0 up to 9. So 10 elements are there in this particular array. Similarly, if I want the float array, what I will do is I will convert this int array into a float array. So for that we have a function called as type, right? As type, and you can provide float value in it. And then if I print this float array, so now you are getting this float value in decimal points also. So this is the integer in which there is no decimal point, but now I have converted this particular array into the float. So now I have the new values as decimal. So you can use as type also, but just make sure that whatever the type, that can be matched. So if you do a string over your string, if you're trying to create a string array, that is also possible. It will just, there will be a single quotes over the values. Let's say you want to check the data type of a particular array which you have created. So for that one, you have a d type function. So I will do int array dot d type. So it will give the data type of the int array. So data type is int32. Similarly for the float one, float array dot d type. Sorry. So here we will go float 64. Now let's say I want to know the dimension of an array. All right. So if you remember, I have created one array, this particular array of zeros 2. So this is two-dimensional array, right? If I have dimension, then what I will do, array underscore zeros, I'll take 2 dot ndim. This is not a function, this is a variable. So it's ndim2. So what is happening over here, it is counting the number of rows. So ndim function always returns the number of rows in the, so I will print it over here so that you guys can see clearly. So it is counting the number of rows. So there are 2 rows, therefore this ndim is returning value as 2. Similarly, if you want to check the shape, so for that one we have a shape variable. If I call this, you can see we are getting 2 4. So that is the shape of this array, and the dimension is number of rows. Similarly, if you want to know the number of elements in a particular array, so what you can do, array dot zeros underscore 2 dot, you can call the size. So this is 8. As you can see, there are 8 elements inside this array. Now there is one thing, you might be aware of this length function. So what will the output if I use this length function over here? It will be 2. So this length function and this n dimension, they both return the same thing, that is the number of rows. So any doubt till here? All right, so I will move on to reshaping.